possible. With that being said, maybe that's why they lost against the Claude, because Claude does not stay one place for a very long time. But now we're jumping into the draft here. Looks like Bigatron will be first pick. Betting out the Matilda as well as the Freya and Fanny. YBG betting out the Suyo as well as the Uyi. YBG might be looking at the stats here and they're like, yo, why is Lucas so strong? Bet him out. Lucas blah. Suyo.
Suyo.
Because the dude's name is Lucas, so I'm confused. But yeah, Suyo. I meant Suyo.
Yeah, Lucas in-game and out-game certainly gets confusing. The Freya there for Bigatron Esports, they've been very respectful of that pick. They might know something that we don't, by all means. But I feel like for YBG,
I fight against Freya in rank, man.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I can relate too. So maybe that's what they are particularly afraid of, because it's kind of scary in the lane, sort of, right? So considering that they have Iman as the tip of their spear, that could be something they want to avoid at all costs. But for YBG, again, they had a Sicilian Jawhead, so I do feel like in theory they could have really cleared mid lane even more, like play with the trio mid a bit better there, because they had I forgot the exact composition there, but they had the Sicilian and the Jawhead, so the clear wasn't bad at all. They have the Joy as well. That trio mid should be and could have been a bit more active in the early game. And Bigatron, we all know Moreno is good, and Light, has a great game knowledge too. So I feel like the mid trio is something that YBG needs to kind of think about a bit more.
Yesterday we saw a lot of bans on Phoveus, and today Phoveus gets picked up very, very fast. Now Bigatron this time, they themselves pick up the Harif, ensuring that YBG doesn't get it, but YBG responds with the Joy. Again, Lucas seems to be very comfortable with, as well as the Phoveus.
So the Phoveus to stop these dash heavy picks that can usually is comboed with the Harith, and the Joy that can kind of chase down a Harith in the late game, right? The mobility kind of allows you to get away from all the damage tools the Harith usually has, technically. So that being said, Bigatron, we've seen them play with a variety of styles as well. I do wonder if they're kind of double down on the pick of style, because the Harith can still operate well in that composition.
May you find tranquility in battle.
Right now, Bigatron, they pick up the Badang as well as the Hanzo. So honestly, Bigatron covering a lot of spots here, where the front line Badang can handle just about anyone. And whoever their gold laner or mid laner is going to be, it's going to be hard to deal with the Hanzo. Bigatron already starting off very, very strong in their opening draft.
So give me your Malaysian perspective on this, Lafel. How the heck are you supposed to effectively shut down a Hanzo? Because I'm a mage player and I'm very vocal about this. I hate going up against the Hanzo, dude. It just feels like there's no counterplay whatsoever. It feels like the only way to deal with him is to wait till your gold laner has a bit more damage and then nuke him, burst him down as he comes in. But if you're on even grounds, if there's no gold advantage, even that seems like a difficult time, and you're wasting so much time dealing with him as the front line, as your front line gets shredded by your opposing team's back line. So I don't know if you have a different outlook on that situation.
No. More or less the same. Like, whoever is getting chased by Hanzo, good luck. That's on you. And then everyone else, try to find his body, essentially. So, like, if you're 5-man, whoever the mid and gold laner is, just hide and then trust your EXP to find wherever this Hanzo is supposed to be. But if you're just solo rank or trio, you can anticipate your teammates to be helpful. So for himself, just run away.
As far as I know, a lot of teams have been trying to stop the Hanzo by looking to try and shut him down at the second purple buff. That's where they know that he's gonna be, right? And if they can get a kill there, save some ultimates, some tools to shut him down there, then that could be the option. But I don't know if YBG want to go with that route. They are the ones banning out Hilda right now, taking away all these EXP.
Yeah, I just remember. Yeah, no, I'm just saying something that happens a lot in rank and some competitive play is picking up the Gatot.
Jump towards the Hanzo.
So when you see the Hanzo using the ult, and then Gatot gets banned. Yeah, you use Gatot against Hanzo just because the Gatot can jump on the body.
Well, that's an option.
So good ban by Bigatron.
Exactly. Just saw through it immediately. So what's the idea here for YBG? Do they want to get something else that can cover ground, or do they want to get something that can move fast? Because we've seen, in MPL ID at least, I've seen that teams use the Hilda to try and send the Hilda to do the usual flank stuff, and because the Hilda's flanking, then the Hanzo doesn't really have a good spot to kind of wait around, at least for the early to mid game. In the late game, the Hilda just gets shredded, so, you know, it's a tough situation overall. That's why the Hanzo is just such a big issue.
Yeah. Hilda got banned, so now YBG picking up the Cho. You have two options where you help your damage dealer kite, or you try to catch the Hanzo. But overall, I feel like Bigatron, especially looking at Luke, looking very confident with the draft that they're going to get. It looks like they already know what their other two picks are going to be.
It seems like the YBG are confident that this Badang is not going to go to the EXP lane. We have seen Bigatron full of great Badang roll moments in the hands of Light. So, that being said, for Luke, another engage tool would be ideal here, right? And along with that, maybe a Sicilian can fit well as well to match the siege potential of the Granger. And if they do that, I do feel like it's a great rounded out kind of composition with a lot of ways to engage and a lot of ways to actually go for fights as well.
Yeah, and now picking out the Farsa. Just like you said, you can fight with range.
Nice.
And now with the Tigreal as well. I would say Bigatron has multiple ways to play this matchup. Even if somehow YBG's are down to Hanzo, the scaling coming in from Farsa as well as Hive is going to be very strong. In case they lose the early game, Farsa can clear the lanes very, very fast. So Bigatron, the draft coming in for today is definitely much better compared to yesterday. YBG, they still need a mid laner. Sicilian is open, but you have to consider that it's going to be tough for you to run away from the Hanzo. And if the Hive gets close enough with the Zaman Force, if you don't have a flicker, you're going to be dead.
There's no pick that just does well against a dive like the Hanzo, but ooh, actually the option they go for is that Faramis. So they're going all in right here. Even though on paper, I do feel like damage output-wise, Bigatron Esports have more. And against an Implosion and a Fist Crack, they picked up a hero that's gonna force them to kind of bundle up together. It's a bold move from YBG, man.
Yeah, if I remember my games correctly, I feel like I've had a game where I was using Faramis, and when I used the ult, the Farsa insta-kills our team. Like, her damage is too much that my ult honestly feels like it's nothing. So, interesting pick here for the Faramis, where, like you said, I do agree. They might not have enough damage with this kind of draft. They have to wait for mid-late game to get at least 2 items for you to see significant amount of damage, but by that time, equal amount of scaling coming in from Bigatron. I'm not so sure about this Faramis pick. I hope I'm wrong, of course, but I'm not so sure.
Welcome.
Remember, if Faramis gets bursted down, everyone else in the Netherrealm gets put in that stasis as well, setting up for another combo potentially. So ladies and gentlemen, game number 2, Bigatron Esports against YBG. Let's see if Bigatron can redeem themselves with a 2-0 clean sweep, or if YBG can start to mount a comeback.
Well, good news for now. Looks like no one is dying first blood just yet. Looking at the EXP, both Fishgod as well as Luke are just maintaining their own distance. And we can see Eamon really giving a lot of space, making sure that he doesn't get hooked out by Bilexi. And Unicorn trying to pull in Annabelle, and Annabelle is very, very low. And first blood goes over to YBG. And now Ares tries to catch on to Light, but Light is able to escape. But Lucas is immediately going to take this advantage and take the jungle creep away.
Bro, Annabelle, way too aggressive right there. He wants to go and get a play on the Litho, but he's a Hanzo in the early levels, man. Not enough mobility to be in a spot like that. We've got a Warcry as well, so definitely looking for more of those prolonged fights. But yeah, I feel like he should have been a bit more careful there, for sure. But looking at the rest of the emblems here, Thrill for Ares, so he has a lot more damage to speak of. Helping clear that mid lane as well, but look at this, whoa!
Yep, a good catch, and now Moreno has to flicker away Lucas. I don't think he got the stack, so he could not continue dashing. But a good engage by YBG, at least getting that flicker off of Moreno is going to be very, very good.
Yeah, big stark contrast and approaches here, because Ares is going to use a Thrill and be aggressive, do some damage, help with the wave clear. Whereas for Light, he's just defensive, man. And it almost seems like Light does well when he's put into this counter-engage mindset, when he doesn't really need to go for anything crazy, but he still needs to find a great moment to kind of turn things around. That seems to be where he's his strongest.
Yeah, YBG, they need to be careful because even though Light is not level 4, Luke can catch them in the fist break, and now NFL is going in, trying to steal this turtle away, and NFL got it! And look at that fist break! Luke able to catch Fish God, and Fish God gets taken down! And now Ares as well! Like I said, YBG, just because Light isn't level 4, does not mean that you guys will not get punished in the turtle.
Unfortunately, I didn't see what quite happened, but Light did reach level 4 mid-skirmish, and that kind of turned everything around for Bigatron as well.
Because they got the turtle.
All right. So YBG, man,
Yeah.
I feel like even in a default composition, you don't want to go for those fights too early, but ooh, look at Annabelle.
Yeah, Annabelle just trying to poke them out, and look at how fast. This is just early game, no items just yet, but that nether realm popped very fast.
Yeah, I mean, you can expect to see more of that as the game goes on. But again, with a Faramis, usually you don't want to be too aggressive in the turtle, in the neutral objective, because you can kind of survive, but you can't trade back too much damage there. I feel like it was all in the hands and shoulders of Fish God to be disruptive, to do damage with that Phobius, but Bigatron weren't clumping up as 5 anyway, so YBG just could not find the right scenario. But then they're going for a dive!
Oh, good catch by Ares, and now Amon gets taken down. Good catch, and now they're trying to get as much damage on this turret as possible. But now Moreno using the Feather Airstrike just to make sure that the push doesn't move forward. Luke is waiting. It looks like he's not going to catch anyone. No one is close by to follow up on his fist break.
Great response from YBG, getting something on the board. The goal difference is negligible at this point. But like you mentioned, Rafael, in the late game, I can't help but feel like Bigatron has the better scaling with the Hanzo, with the Farsa, and Mando kind of gets something. And the YBG actually all together here.
Oh yeah, they're trying to force a fight here. NFL goes in, but the NetherRealm saves him for now. Flickers out, but Amon still secures it. And now Light in the backside tries to force out Lucas away from the team. Light has no HP. Why is he still alive? Lucas gets a kill finally onto Light, and Amon's just dancing around Ares, but unable to get that kill just yet. Unicorn pulling Luke back in, but not enough damage. A bit of a scrappy team fight where Bigatron forced it out. And since NFL got the turtle, I guess it's good for them. But look, flickers in, gets Unicorn, and Amon gets a kill onto Bilexi.
It's not over just yet, though. Luke now caught in a sketchy situation here. Going for the fist break combo, but won't be. Oh, actually, we'll be able to get a kill there too.
That's how ridiculous a Batang is. But now Luke tries to escape, and he is successful. Looks like YBG still wants to fight a little bit more. Zaman forced from Amon, and now forcing out more coming in from Fish God, and Fish God gets taken down. Bigatron is asking, what are you guys doing? Why do you guys want to keep on fighting?
You want to fight, we'll give you a fight, man. Bigatron, with the AoE, with this individual mechanics as well. This is the loop that everyone has been waiting for, dude. 1v3 stuck behind enemy lines, still finds a way to get a kill. Man, YBG were trying their best to kind of salvage that fight, but they were just all over the place, man. Funneling one by one almost.
Yeah, now Bilexi having this Sky Piercer, unsure whether he will actually get some stacks. YBG needs to figure out a way how to get as much turrets as they can, because we can see that Amon is getting free turrets up here. Looking at the goal, 2,000 gold hit for Bigatron, and when it comes to the team fight, Bigatron has a lot more crowd control, and we saw that Unicorn, I don't know how useful the NetherRealm is really going to be.
It might work against them if there's going to be clumping up like that. Aside from the Farsa combo as well, Annabelle now already online going in.
Yeah, Unicorn is forced to use the NetherRealm early, but now Fish God and Unicorn are stuck. Implosion coming in from Light. Lexi has nowhere to go. Double kill for Amon. Bigatron Esports, they can force out fights. YBG, they can't do anything.
Seemingly powerless against the onslaught of Bigatron. lack of engage for them to go and win these big AoE fights.
Well
They have to
done,
try and
team.
find more pick-off scenarios, but Luke and Light are doing a great job just screening. Every single time you're looking for something, you never know when the next implosion or next fist break will be. Man, this is the great combo for Bigatron, man. When the Roam and EXP can work together like this and just confuse the opponents, it's just a bad time for whoever goes up against Bigatron.
Yeah, honestly, just to add in the jungler as well, we see Annabelle multiple times just sending the shadow in. So there's 3 people, and YBG just don't know how to respond. And right now, you called it, the Netherrealm. It could actually hurt their team where you die in a very bad spot. You're just gonna stay there for a while, giving time for Bigatron Esports to time their skills again. So I don't know. Again, I was very unsure about this Faramis pick, and it doesn't look all that good here because the damage coming in from Bigatron Moreno is enough to make sure that it's all gone. So this is very tough for YBG. And in terms of the scaling, I actually don't think their scaling is better than Bigatron here.
Exactly, and we see Annabelle already being way more active, way more of a threat. That's mid-game Hanzo. That's the point where you're like, okay, now we can't deal with him easily. And if you want to deal with him, it's gonna cost you.
And now look at this. He's trying to force out Unicorn. This is something that assassins always do. Hayabusa, Hanzo, you name it. You go straight onto the Faramis, use your ult. If you don't use it, you'll die.
And it's just so much easier for Hanzo to do it as well, man. It's just looking really difficult for YBG to find anything. And now, even Ares, the flexible, the mobile Cho that can be used to find information, look at how YBG is playing. They're sending Unicorn to use the Ghost Bursters to try and find information because there's so many ways for Bigatron to catch Ares. And look at this, whoa!
Whoa! Beautiful fist break onto 2, and now Luke has from the backside. Look at Unicorn already forced to use his ult. Luke still stays in. That wall locks into Annabelle, jumps in, but Lexi finally gets Luke. First kill for YBG, and now the Zaman Force. Fish God is get taken down by Amon. Even though it was good, YBG got got Luke. But it was not enough. That's the only kill that they're gonna get.
The base tower passive actually hasn't popped on any base turrets of YBG. That's not a bad situation at all. With Luke not in the picture, they can aim for a fight because the bulk of the gold lead, by the way, about 2k, was in the hands of Luke earlier. Right now they're pushing, but the longer they wait, the longer Bigatron Esports have a chance to just sit around and plan for the next big combo.
Yeah, YBG, I'm worried about just one thing. If Ares gets a good catch, do they even have enough damage to take him down? I don't think he has the damage. And Lucas, it's gonna be very difficult as a Joy to get a kill. Now Ares already has to use the flicker, but he's gonna get taken down by my godlike YBG, 1 man down. I don't know how they can contest this Lord.
No chance, man. This Faramis, again, the fact is they have Cho, they have the Granger, the Joy. They're not gearing up for an AoE style battle, but the Faramis kind of fits into an AoE style battle themselves. So they just are stuck between 2 different play styles, and Bigatron Esports are absolutely punishing them for it. Now with the Lord coming through, again with the Farsa, very healthily scaling 2, 1, and 7 on Moreno, they can just go for a big burst moment, and if YBG are unable to respond appropriately, this could be the end push.
Oh, looks like Ares and Lucas wants to get Annabelle. Annabelle sees this coming, trying to run away, trying to juke them out, and now using the shadow, fights back! He finds Lucas! Lucas gets taken down! And now Annabelle wants to go for Ares, like, you want this fight, bro? You got it! He gets 1, and now he gets 2. Double kill for Annabelle, and look at the rest of Bigatron Alpha. They're staying inside the base. They want to end this now. 2 kills for Amon, and now it's GG. Bigatron wins 2-0.
To all the doubters who were talking about Bigatron being over, to all the haters saying that their era is done,